Hello, this is Sarah Perlman, and I am discussing my philosophy of teaching in relationship to nursing education today. And what is learning? So, in sort of a behaviorist sense, Malcolm McDowell talks about mastery in the sense of doing drills, and Serena Williams is an example where she had devoted over 10,000 hours and used 10,000 as a benchmark, as a way of showing expertise in a field. And this can be demonstrated in many fields such as chess, but this is only part of the story, where it is demonstrated more in situations where there are limitations or parameters set. Stephen Coulter kind of debunks this, where he shows this can be cut in half in flow states where human potential has also exponentially expanded in the last decades. And he also demonstrates this in Montessori education and a lot of tech companies, like as in the California, I'm sorry, we're having a storm and our power just went off. The social, experiential, and multimodal kind of envelopment of the children when they're in the educational model really promotes these flow states and promotes like a learning intensification. Barbara Oakley is a neurologist that also describes how we also need respite between intense focus, and so we don't just, when we learn new problems, keep going and going and going, but we need to back away and have an incubation period to truly integrate that in our brains and have long-term learning. And we learn by chunking. So in nursing education, it's important to have some rest time and back away at times so that we can, again, integrate and incubate. So the role of the teacher, in my opinion, is in looking at Vygotsky scaffolding and propping up the student appropriately, also looking at what is their zone of proximal development, and then appropriately removing away the props so that they can then move on and provide opportunities and facilitate understanding, ultimately eventually disappearing from the picture so that the student realizes that they themselves have the teacher inside of them. And as a teacher, we should provide some humor and an environment of safety. And the role of the learner is to engage and ask questions. And that is hard if you, as a teacher, don't provide a safe environment for diverse learning. And in higher education, it is a little different because you are preparing adult learners for the workplace. So, what assets can you give them and skills for preparing them for that workplace? Interdisciplinary teams are an important part of that. And then also giving them technologic advancement, and then also understanding sustainability in the workplace as well, and environmental. And I think that's something that was really lacking in my nursing education, and I hope to bring to the nursing education that I provide. And in clinical education, it's very important because it's so fast-paced, the change in how the standards and the governmental regulations are changing, that we know how to siphon information for quality and to promote evidence-based growth. So my basic principles that guide me through teaching and learning are to serve and care for patients and my students. And that's through community outreach. So what are the needs of the students and the community? What are the health disparities? How can I facilitate their journey to where they are and where do they want to go? What are their needs? And how can I help them?